You're listening to On the Verge on WTVU. BU's only music and talk show, bringing you the latest in campus life, entertainment news, and trending topics worldwide, with stories from Verge campus and new music from Good Music All Day. Everything you want to hear,
minus what you don't.
Every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Don't let this be our final song.
Who do I think I am?
I really don't know.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to On the Verge, the official music and talk show of Verge Campus BU. You are listening to us live on WTVU Radio on 89.3 FM, 640 AM, online on WTVUradio.org, or maybe with our mobile app. So we've had a great show so far. Before, we played a couple of songs, which were, by the way, About Us by Fee, a local artist from Berkeley, and That's Power by Chris Borelli, also a local Boston artist. Both of them were actually part of our Boston Breakthroughs showcase last weekend. Fantastic. Check them out on vergecampus.com. But speaking of great artists, it's time for our final segment of the show. As per usual, we have our featured artist of the episode. So today we have Kyle Bent on air. Hey, Kyle.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. We are so excited to have you. Let's just go through a quick introduction. I'm Angeli, DJ A-Rad.
I'm Kaylin, DJ Tanner.
And I'm Latifa, DJ Ladybug.
And you're on the Verge. So how are you doing?
Doing good, yourselves?
I'm doing good as well. Kaylin, how are you doing?
I'm just dandy.
Yeah, we're stoked to have you. So where are you calling us from currently? Are you on tour or are you in Boston?
I'm in Boston right now, yeah.
Awesome. So you're from around here, right?
Yeah, I am. Actually from Randolph.
Oh, okay, awesome. So what has it been like? First of all, how long have you been pursuing this career as an artist? And what has that been like in Boston, which I think is a really big music hub?
It's been a while. It's been at least a decade. I've been doing this since I was around single digits. And the journey's been cool. I've had ups and downs as far as promoting my music from Boston. Because Boston has had that mentality. We're working our way out of a crab in the bucket mentality. I think we're doing very good in the last couple of years. And finally, I'm able to push the music from Boston and still get a great reception versus a couple years ago when the idea was that you had to leave the city in order to get your music out.
Right. Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I feel like now you're definitely, when I was just like doing a little research, I saw a lot of different publications like saying, oh, Boston's own or like from Mass. And I saw that you're doing like the New England HipHop Awards this summer, correct? Yeah. So now do you feel like you kind of have more of that like home-based support system?
Yeah, definitely. It's growing, and it's going to continue to grow as I'm able to get at more Boston events and show face to more of the Bostonians. But for the most part, things are going very good, and I'm liking the trajectory.
Awesome. So what do you think was like a turning point for you that's really helped you get your career up and going?
Well, I had signed to a new label last year around this same time, March. So when we move out into April, we're actually in April 1st. So it's been it's been a year and a month right now since I've signed.
Oh, wow. And congratulations.
Thank you. It's been dope. And when that happened, my career took a whole new level. We rebranded. We started creating better videos, and I was able to get into the studio a whole lot more often, and we built a plan around the entire year, which has passed. Now we got a whole nother plan for the next year coming. So, yeah, we're beefing it up.
Yeah, no. We're actually currently staring at your website, and it's so nice.
It's
very impressed.
the most impressive website I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of artist websites. I consider myself an expert. No, but
Artist website expert.
Also,
thankfully I like it. Thank you.
no problem.
if it's okay, I'm also reading your story on your website, and it says that you were in your first rap duo by 5th grade, and I'm really curious what that looked like. Like,
Oh
where
my
did
gosh,
you guys
yes.
perform?
Tell us about
Yeah,
that.
my first rap duo was when I was still using a Logitech microphone. So I had
Oh
not
my
even
gosh.
stepped in. Yeah, so it was real grassroots stuff. I had bought, well, actually my dad had bought me a Logitech from Radio Shack, and he knew that I liked the whole rap and writing thing. So that was the first thing I was recording on, and I was in elementary, obviously, and I had a friend who was also rapping, and my mom would bring me to church often. So what had happened is that we were a rap duo that would get our first performances at church, and it was
Amazing.
the most. Yeah, it was awkward for us because deep down we wanna rap how we want to rap, but because you're in a church environment, you gotta try to clean it up or try to at least make it religious oriented. So. You know, so it was that awkward stage, but at the same time, it was letting us. We were putting our foot in the waters. You know, we were really testing the waters, and I think those times allowed me to at least get prepared for performing on the stage as I do now. So it started at a real early age.
Yeah.
So did
you were
you-
an OG Christian rapper, eh?
OG Christian rapper, no doubt.
So, did you post anywhere at that time? Like, where can I find 5th grade Kyle?
Oh man, that might be the hardest thing you ever try to find. That might be lost in the trenches. But maybe someone got something. You probably see in a couple years.
So, from Christian rapper days to now, how would you say your music has differed? If it's differed at all, I don't know.
I mean, it's different a lot. It's different a lot. I back in the day, I definitely tried to cater, but throughout the years, I've had a crazy personal journey, and I've just learned to be really authentic with myself, and that's with things like that, and that's also with just general interactions with everyday people, and most of all, just knowing where I want to be. Even with college, I was in college maybe 2 semesters ago, and I realized that that's not where I want to be right now, and that's not what's helping me to progress in my career as much as I need to. So I took the choice to leave, and that was a situation that brought its pros and cons. But at the end of the day, got through it, and made me stronger. So with that whole church aspect, it was the thing where I didn't feel completely authentic.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the choice to leave that environment and, still respect it, but believe it. So right now, my music has changed in the scope that it's complete authentic Kyle Ben. Everything that I say is exactly what I'm thinking, and you'll hear the darks and the lights of my personality, but at the end of the day, what really stands out is that I'm pushing a positive message, and I think that's why people like me.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I really like that. What would you say, just because, like, as you were describing yourself, I was starting to think, like, we've talked to a bunch of different rappers on this show, and I feel like that's such a big, well, it has been for a while, such a big genre, especially for our generation. So what do you think are the challenges of maintaining that, like, authentic you, but also, like, trying to make it in an industry that some might say is kind of oversaturated right now?
Well, I think it's changing a lot. I think we definitely had the issue of staying transparent in an industry like this, because a big thing that you're expected to do is, I guess, sell the role of a rapper,
Mm-hmm.
and to seem glamorous even before it happens. And I guess
So true.
whoever has went that route and made it work, then kudos to them. But the industry has been changing in such a way where you're able to really be your authentic self, and that's starting to be what actually carries you a lot quicker than other people in the same industry. So I'm capitalizing on that wave, on that new wave.
Yeah.
So obviously my whole brand, it's professional, it looks good, but at the same time I want to pride myself in still being authentic and showing real personality. I think we're in a great place right now as far as hip-hop music goes.
Yeah, definitely. That's very true. I think there has been a really big change in not only like how rappers like brand themselves, but maybe like things that they talk about. I feel like it's not as formulaic anymore.
Not at all.
Also, I feel like production has made, like, it's always been an aspect of rap and hip-hop, but I feel like now that's huge. And, like, it's almost a competition of, like, trying to have more, like, whoever has the most, like, unique production, and people are, like, blending genres a lot. Like, obviously, Drake is a big example of that, so.
Right. I mean, a big thing these days is just being different, because we've almost heard every type of music or every type of rap. So it's like, who can push the barrier right now? Who can really show us something different? We don't want to hear anything that's been done already.
Yeah. So how did you find, like, I'm assuming you have a production team. How did you find that, and like what kind of sound were you looking for in that sense?
Well, I've actually worked with a lot of different producers throughout my career, and right now I'm in the stage where I have if I was to call them a production team, it would be a production team of various producers in different states, maybe 3 or 4 at most. But I've gotten to a point where I can boil down my sound to something that is ambient. Well, first of all, it's not really boxed in, so I definitely give a lot of different styles, and I'll continue to do that. But more when it comes down to it, I usually go for that ambient sound, upbeat, and of course those positive lyrics to accompany it. Other than that, the production that goes into my music videos, I have a right-hand man named Matt Arnold, and he's been working on most of my videos between this year and last, and those have been coming out a lot more high quality. So that's kind of what we're working with right now.
That's awesome. So how did you like form this network of people who have been helping you out? Did that come with your label or like friends?
I've actually had a lot of these connections for a while, even before the label came around. It was just a matter that I didn't really have the funds to work with everybody that I wanted to work with. But as soon as the label came around, I was able to revisit a lot of those connects that I had started in the past and rekindle the relationship, and now that's who I'm working with now.
Awesome. So you mentioned earlier when you were talking about the label how they helped you kind of rebrand. What was that rebrand like? Like, how would you have described yourself before and after getting signed?
Maybe it wasn't a crazy rebrand. I think I rebranded in the sense that I was finally able to put how I felt about myself out there. I think before I was limited in the sense of getting really quality photo shoots. I would have some every now and then, but it wasn't as frequent as it needed to be. Because of that, there wasn't an updated image of Kyle. But when the label finally came around, I was able to throw myself out there again how I was at that very moment. And because they gave me such an opportunity, gave me advance money, I was able to also try new things with my appearance that I had always wanted to do, but didn't think I had the funds or at least the management of it to go and take that step. So with all that being said, I was able to really show an updated Kyle to the fans.
Yeah, definitely. And I just thought of last week we had a rapper on air also. He's kind of smaller, newer, and still in college, but he brought up a really interesting point that now I feel kind of compelled to talk to other artists about. But he was saying how he right now, being like new to the game, is kind of trying to figure out that balance between putting out stuff that he knows is like marketable and that people appeal to, and and then the stuff that he actually wants to do. Like, it's interesting. He told us his most popular song is the one that he personally hates the most.
Really?
Because, yeah, it just, like, goes against, like, what he is into, but he knows that it's, like, appealing, and especially, like, I feel like now social media is such a big aspect of being an artist, and he knew that it was something that he could probably, like, get popular on social media. So do you relate to that at all? Have you ever struggled with that whole marketable, quote unquote, aspect?
Yeah, you know, it kind of comes back to that authentic self. You know, I've kind of gotten to a point where I'm able to make that marketable sound and still love it just as much as my other work. I know there was points in my career, maybe my fourth project or fifth, that I had, my whole idea for the project was to go commercial and to see if I could blend my commercial sound with my true sound or just my initial sound. And the way that went is the result of that was that I was able to create something that was definitely more commercial. People would listen to it, and that's what they would say it reminded them of. But after a couple months, I realized I didn't like it at all, and I was like, damn, that was probably my least favorite project that I've worked on up to date. But as of right now, I say that I'm creating music that can be commercial, that can be looked at as commercial because the production's so well-rounded and created, and at the same time still putting out lyrics that mean a lot to me. So I'm finding the best of both worlds right now.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like it's all like a growth process, I guess.
It is,
especially in this type of industry, and having those songs that you hate but other people like might just kind of be part of it, but eventually leads you to the position you're in now, which sounds awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you working on any new stuff? I know you just came out not too long ago with Love Someone, but is there anything else in the works?
Yeah, I'm going to be dropping another track in maybe 23 days, so April 24th.
Ooh. And,
yeah, we're trying to hit every month with a new release. And then when summer rolls around, we'll be dropping a new EP. So before that, there's going to be a flurry of new releases, including videos. Yeah, we're trying to stay consistent.
That's awesome. That's so exciting.
Is there any touring in your future? We noticed on your website there's no tour dates planned right now, but...
Yeah, as good as the website may seem, we don't seem to keep it updated with shows as we should, but I actually have a lot of shows coming up. I have maybe 3 to 5 this month, and
wow.
I have a tour. Yeah, I have a tour coming up in May, next month, from the 18th to the 28th. And between all that, there's still going to be a few more shows sprinkled out. So maybe we should update that site.
So you're going to be performing like in the area in Boston?
Yeah.
Where can the people find you?
Oh yeah, definitely. So the very next show that we have is actually tomorrow, and I'm opening up for Taylor Bennett at the Middle East.
Wait, that's so cool.
Yeah. I mean, I should have said it earlier. It's sold out, but...
No, I'm sure it's sold out. That's going to be sick.
Yeah, it should be a real dope show. And then on the 13th, I'm going to be performing at Westwood High School. So I don't know if that's something that the fans can go to, considering it's a high school. But if you go there, then, you know, be prepared to see face. Then the day right after, I'm performing at 3065 Live in Wareham. I don't know if you guys heard of the Great Scott. That's later this month.
Oh yeah, the Great Scott. That's like right near our school.
Word. Then I'm trying to see all y'all there. For sure. And next month in May, from the 18th to the 28th, we're hitting the whole East Coast. So I don't even have half the dates yet, but as soon as I do it, make sure to keep people updated.
Wow, that's so exciting. So what do you enjoy most about doing shows and tours?
The experience itself, being able to perform in front of people, see their reactions, and because of the type of music I make, I often get those feedbacks of people telling me how much it affected them, how much my music affected them, and that was my whole reason for going into music to begin with, to really affect the person who was listening, and positively change a life, hopefully. And just getting those responses sometimes really makes me know that I chose the right path, and it feels good. So that's definitely my favorite aspect.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some people tell us that they've really like built their fan base online, or like again through like social media or SoundCloud or whatever. But then there are other people who think that their greatest fans or their most loyal fans they got from like shows. Just people who like happen to go to the show and be exposed to their music for the first time. How do you think that you've built your following?
My following has changed and morphed in so many ways throughout my career. I'd say I first started gaining fans. It was solely through the internet. When I was around 14, and that's pre-label. I actually had a few fluctuations throughout my career. So I had a point where I was actually decently sized. I was still considered an underground artist, and I was buzzing. But then that died down as certain things happened. I actually had a sponsor. So I was around age 14. I had dropped my first mixtape, and that was Bent Rules. And around that time, the way that I was pushing the album was solely through internet. Dat Piff was popping at that time. So my sponsor had got me front page of Dat Piff and World Star. Those are the times that Dat Piff and World Star had just popped up.
Wow, so that's crazy.
Yeah. So I've had a roller coaster ride throughout my journey. And that very first time, it was mainly through the fact that I had 3 videos on World Star and a mixtape on Dat Piff, and my name was buzzing for a little bit. Then my sponsor had to take a hiatus, and that made my career take a hiatus, so it went downhill for a little bit. And then I had another pop-up, but right now I'm gaining a lot of my fans through that same internet interaction, but we've been doing a lot of street teamwork, so I actually have a fan in almost, I would say, at least half of the state, if not more. At least one person promoting in their state or their city, and we have a group page on Facebook. So what I did, I threw out a post on my social medias, and just a loyal list of fans reached out to me, and I made it into a little street team group. And
that's genius. That's a really cool way to do it. And then the fan feels more connected to you, obviously, like they're almost like working for you, representing you. So I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, and I try to make it a community feel, like a family feel, where it's not just, obviously the music is what brought us together, but because we all believe in the I guess the message of the brand, of the movement, we also have other things to talk about that have to relate to, just changing the world in a positive way. Or you're just hearing how each person's day is going, whatever day it might be. But other than that, it's become an internet grind now, a street grind, and definitely those live performances. I've definitely upped my game. So yeah, well-rounded, I like to say. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, Kyle Bent, you are awesome. I just realized that you're 19, right?
I am.
That's insane. I feel like I've been talking to someone who's like very much an adult, well versed in like the whole music industry. Like, this is insane. And you're clearly such a hard worker, so I know you're about to go so far. I mean, when we Googled you, you popped up like instantly, and we were like, "Oh shiz, this is like this is a big deal that we have on the show today." But unfortunately, we're running out of time, and we want to be able to play some of your music. So our last thing that we do with all of our interviewees is have them fill in the blank. So Kyle Bent is #on the verge of blank.
Blowing up.
Hey, love it. Thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure. And we're going to play some music now, of course. Keep us updated if anything happens. Hopefully we'll see you at the Great Scott. I'm trying to go. That'd be sick. So.
Hey, get them all.
All right. Take care, Kyle.
Enjoy your day. We'll talk up.
Thanks. Bye. All right, everybody, that was our featured artist of the episode, Kyle Bent. He was sick. Whoa, what just happened? Our computer just turned off. Hold on. He was so cool. I'm like kind of in awe of him right now. But unfortunately, On the Verge is on the verge of ending. So we're just going to leave you with some of his music. Which song did you recommend? Vibes?
So there's a lot of his stuff we can't play that you should go check out on Spotify. But yes, we're going to play Vibes because it's clean.
We have a awesome weekend, everybody. And thanks again for listening to On the Verge. We
Go
love
outside.
you.
Enjoy the beautiful weather.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Go take a shower outside. Bye, Illy.
Who's coming out tonight? I said, who's coming out tonight? Where's all the pretty women in denim in a blouse tonight? I'm trying to see what you about tonight. I brought a couple of the homies, but only two. Why this third dude acting like he know me? Well, it's cool, I guess. We all came to have a good time. Yeah, whenever you look out, near the beach like a fruit fly. Yeah, I don't even want your number. I just wanna keep the good vibes. Well, anyway, what's your number? I ain't trying to say goodbye. Yeah. That's my curse. I love pretty women that hurt. I love their black hearts, cause it always seem to match their purse. I admit I get attached at first, but then I remember that I only came to get loose. Nah, I ain't here forever, man. But in the meantime, we can have some fun, no settling. So let them vibes settle in. Yeah. Say yeah. Good vibes make it say yeah. Say yeah. We gon' party all the day long now.